45 minutes, I will give you a short introduction on nanotechnology. And first of all, who understands nanotechnology? Please raise your hand. So only one hand, so I think I have enough to do in the next 45 minutes. So what I would like to do is to give you a basic understanding that even a normal person without a scientific background is able to grasp, is able to understand, like, what is nanotechnology and why is it such a buzzword in the last years. But also I want to give you some basic understanding on how nanotechnology can really play an important role in what already has been said in the development of new technologies for a zero carbon energy system. And last, I will give you a short glimpse into the future of this field. So where are we now and what is coming up? And then I will also make the bridge to the quantum computer that you already have heard before. But why do I think it's so important to understand this field? Because Peter Diamandis, one of the co-founders of Singularity University, he said that we need those exponential technologies to get into this abundant future, a future where there's no limitations in energy, resources, food, security. But from my perspective, it's more about how we look at our current world, whether or not we see the abundance. I don't see that the future is abundant, I see that the present is already abundant, but our ability as humankind to see the abundantness is very limited. And what I would like to do with the next 45 minutes is open your eyes and let you see how abundant this world is. And that only by changing our perspective, our way of looking at our world around us, we are able to get into this abundant future and see the opportunities and use them to our benefit. If we look to the world, then from my perspective, from a technology perspective, there are two ecosystems. We call them inorganic and organic. Inorganic, you can see it for you on the left, it's the world of biology. It's the world that most of us know, that organisms grow, that our body evolved, that every 7 years all the cells in our body are made out of new cells. And that's a continuous circling ecosystem where things are getting alive and then are going to die and then re-emerge again. But the inorganic ecosystem is something that we are not that much aware of. We know that we use those materials to make batteries and make fuel cells and solar cells, and it is engraved in many different ways into a product like a smartphone, but it's quite an unknown world to us. Because we use the smartphone every day, but what exactly is in the smartphone, which materials, how it's made and how it functions, nobody really knows or nobody really cares, which I can understand. But it's that world that I will dive into today. Not the biology, not the organics part, but the inorganics part. Those minerals that we are getting out of the mine on a daily basis, working them up, and then putting them in the right structure into your high-tech smartphone. So to give you a bit of perspective, in the beginning, we invented a stone with a chopped off pieces, so it has a sharp knife or a sharp piece which we can use to process meat or to kill animals or to become better in agricultural activities. And then along the way, the first material that we really discovered was bronze. It came out of the fire pits that people made. It was the first metal, which was much more usable than those stone pieces. And then out of the Bronze Age, we went into the Iron Age, when we discovered the element iron, which was much more stronger and much stiffer. And it was so strong that it enables us to make or build the Industrial Revolution. Automation, steam engines, mass production, all came out of the discovery of iron. And then the next age where we went into is the Silicon Age. The next component that you can see is the first transistor. It's the first on-off switch that we used in very big, clumsy computers, as big as this room initially. But along the years, from the 60s on, we shrunk down those transistors. And that's also one of the main reasons or main drivers of exponential technologies is Moore's law. Moore's law is nothing else than a law that describes that thing was initially this big, is now as big as the chip on your computer. So normally, if you have 1 billion of those transistors, as they were in the beginning, you could fill up this whole building. But now you have 30 billion of those transistors on a very small silicon wafer in the core of your smartphone. And that is the age where we are now, the silicon age, where computers and big data and AI and blockchain are all dominating our current world.